Yes, hi guys. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you went to the first and second video, which is having basic concepts of Linux, basic operations on Linux. And as I told today, let us see how to create groups, how to create users, how to add that users into a group, how to restrict the permissions to particular user, such kind of things. See, let's see. First, you have to create a user called, let's say, test. Okay, so for that, very first you should know whether that user is already existing or not, because you are not aware of it, right? So to check that, just give, sorry, cat slash etc passwt. So it will list you all the users. See, now we could see abc user or app user, ec2 user, and these are default. So you could see root user at top. Okay, so this is the command to just cross check whether we are having that user or not. So now you just realized there is no particular user with the name of test. Okay, so see, one more command to clear this screen, just give clear. Okay, okay, so now let us create a user. So very first process here we can do, one is with the IDs, and one we can do without any IDs. Let's say, see, now give cache lattice password. So here after ABC you could see 11011101. So that is nothing but ID of that user. In the same way, you will be having ID for group as well. Okay, so one you can create with ID, or one more you can do just normally. So let us see both the things. So first let us see with the ID. So very first point, you have to, let's say, what we have to conclude what is our test, sorry, what is our user and what is our group. Let's say our user is test user, our group is test group. Our user is test user, our group is test group. So now very first I have to create group. Let's say group, sorry, group add -g, and you have to give ID here. Let's say 1200. Nothing specific, you can give anything. Okay, group add -g, group ID, and what is our group name? Test group. Enter. Now the group is created. Now you have to add a user, create and add a user to this group. You have to create and add a user to this group. For that, user add -u. Let's say you can give same number or different, same ID or different ID, because this is for user. The above ID is for group. Let's say I'm giving 1201, 1201 -g -g, and the group name test group, and the username test user. Enter. Just check cat slash etc, sorry, etc password. See, test user has been created. Test user has been created. Now let us, just without any IDs, see, now it has taken 1201 1200. This is like user ID, this is group ID. Now just let us see, without any, without giving any IDs, simply, very simply. Okay, very simple way. Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, very simple way. Okay, first you should add user, add, sorry, user add. What will give, let's say, this time we'll give just only test. Before we are given test group and test user. Now for user I am giving test. Okay, what, it is not responding? Oh shit, it has hanged or what? Okay, let me take a duplicate session. What was that? Network error, software connection abort. Okay, what is the issue here? Oh shit, there was some disturbance in network. see, no internet. Let me just sorry guys, there was some network issue, so it has disconnected, so I've just connected again. Okay, so what we have done, we have created a user and group by using IDs. So now second task is we should create a user and group, and we should add that user to that group without giving any IDs. So you can do any of this. Now if you feel giving an ID is complex, you can just follow this normal steps. Okay, so that I will tell you very fast. Just let's see, we have given the test command, right? First let's see whether the test user is created or not. Sorry, cat/etc passwd. Okay, good, the test is not created. So now just give user add test, enter. Now you have to create group add what will give test1, let's say. Okay, now user is created, group is created. Now you have to add this user to that group, test user to test1 group. Okay, this means test user means this test to test1. So for this you have to use user mod -a -g. Okay, next the group name test1, next the username test. Let's give cat/etc password. See, you could see these two. First we have created a group what way test user by giving 1201, and next we have created test without giving an ID, it has taken some default ID. Okay, so now we have created two users. So now we have to set up password for this, and remember these things you should do as root user only. Creating a user will be happened only from root. Okay, you should be super user to create the groups and user and assign any roles to that group or user. So now we have two groups, one is test, we have two users, one is test and one is test user. So from root you really don't need any password, you can directly give su. Su is nothing but switch user. See, you just directly switch to test user. See, you could see earlier you were in root, now you are under test. Okay, so now we are in test. Let's see, can we switch to test user from here? Su test user. No, it is asking for password. Okay, just let us go back, exit, we move to root again. Just give this from here. Switched. See, switched to test user. So means to access any user from root, it is very absolutely you don't need any password. It's very straightforward. But if you want to switch to any other user from one user, we should definitely provide a password. But where is that password? How will get the password? For that you should use, again you have to switch to root. You have to use the command is password, the PASSWT, and for which user now you are checking. Let's say I'm giving for test. So give the one test123, enter. Test123, enter. Okay, so now you have updated the password of user test. So now what I'm doing, I'm just switching to let us give password for this one also, PASS, or else let us give it later. So now what we'll do, just switch to test user. Okay, so from here try to switch to test. So it is asking password test123, enter. So now you move to test. Okay, so now you move to test. So now you move to test. Let's say now if you want to try to test user, let's say from here now you are in test. Let's say you try to move to test user. Okay, so it is asking for password. Just give some random password. It won't take anything. Okay, it won't take anything. So let us set password for this test user as well. So for that you should move to root. You should move to root. You can set up password for root also, because now you are giving exit. If you want to switch to root, you have, we'll see that also. Okay, see, now let us set password for test user also. Password test user. What is the password for test user? Test user 123, enter. Test user 123, enter. Okay, so now you can switch from C. Now test su test user. Give the password test user 123, enter. So in the same way, let us try to give switch to root. Switch to root. Same again, it is asking for password. So for the root also you can create password. Okay, password root. Root 123. Let's say root 123. Okay, all token success. So now I'm just moving to su test directly. So from here I want to switch to root. So it is asking password root 123. Sir, you can do one thing. If you give exit, you will directly prompt to the previous user. Okay, you can directly prompt to, you can switch to previous user. But if you want to enter again, you should use the password, right? So that's the thing here. Okay, now let us clear. I hope everyone is clear with this. So let us move to one of these users. Let's say cd. Sorry, not cd. cd is for change directory. Su test. Let's give cd. cd is a command if used for switch directory. If you enter any directory after the cd, you will move to that cd directory. If you give only cd, it will take you to the home directory. Let's see pwd. So it will take to home directory of that user. Okay, so let's say now I am just creating mkdir a cda mkdir. So now where I am under a. So I am under a and I am creating a directory called b. Okay, so you could see b directory here, and now I'm just moving to b directory and I'm creating a child directory called c. So cd is c and I'm just making a directory called d. cd d. Just do pwd. Where are you? You are under home / test / a / b / c / d. So you are at d point. So if you want to move one step forward, give cd // c. Now you are under c directory. Means you moved one step back. If you want to go to two steps back, cd // this is for one step, two more dots and one slash. This is for two steps. Let's say c. Now you are under a. Earlier you were in c. So when you given only cd, you just switched from d to c. When you given cd for two steps, to move two steps backward, you just moved from c to d for the first step, c to b for the first step, and b to a for the second step. So this is how you have to move. So let's say now I am just moving to, so from here I want to move to d directly. So for that you should give cd / b / c / d. Is it? Sorry. You should not give this mount point here. That means it will take as mount point. See, now it will go. See, now you are at a, b, c, d. So give cd directly. Where you came? You came all steps back and you are in home directory of that user. So this is one utility of cd. Okay, let us clear this. Okay, ll. I'll remove all this. See, just now give rm a. See, rm cannot remove a because it's a directory. That's why, as I said in previous video, use rm-rf. Okay. So nothing will be there. Okay. So now what you will do? Just create some dummy files. Touch a / b / c / d ll. If you see, you could see user as, see, this is user and group details. So here you could see both user and group as test only. But what was the group we have given for test? What was the group we have given for test? The group one is test 1. The group is test 1. So you could say give just ID. Give just ID. Oh, seems okay. See the groups are test and test 1. See, this is default one and this is what we have given, test 1. So I want this file to be within the group of test 1 and the user should be test. Okay, so just switch back to root user. Switch back to root user. For this you have to give ch own, means ownership, -r, ch own, ch means changing the ownership. Okay, first you give the group user test and group test 1 space this path. What was this path? Okay, so I just want to give this till /home/test. Whatever under this, it should be with the user test and group should be test 1. Just enter. Okay, just move to this directory. You can check it from root only. You can go there and check, but if anything else you have to come back. See, now the user is test, group is test 1. User is test, group is test 1. Okay, see, now you have seen these two groups here, right? Let us just switch to test user. Okay, so just here give ID here. See, you could see only one group. You could see only one group. Just create one file here. Touch EFGH. Sorry. Touch EFGH LL. See, defaultly it came with whatever the user we have given, whatever the group we have given. The reason is when we created test user and test group, we have used some IDs, group ID and user IDs. In case of test and test 1, we have not used any IDs. So that's why it has taken default. So in default, it has taken user and group as test only. But when we have given IDs, it has taken test user as user, test group as group. Okay. So this is a thing you have to observe, and you have seen how to change the ownership of that files. How to change the ownership of that file. Again, let us just switch back to test. Okay, so here user is test, group is test 1. Okay, so this is fine, right? I think you understood this. So this one you should do as root only. Okay, so now if you observe here, you could see some points, some things here. Okay, you could see this thing. What are these? What is this? So let us divide into three points. See, the first one I told you already. Let's say if you have any directory here, make directory what we call E, let's say LL. See, this is showing you D, means it is a directory. These all are files. This is a directory. This is a directory. So this first one you can avoid, means that is nothing with permissions, nothing with anything, nothing with any ownership or something. It is simply telling what is this, whether it is a file or it is a directory, in that way. So now you have to just divide this into three. See, these three, this 3. So you have here rw dash, rw dash, r dash dash. What does it mean? What does it mean? So it means R means read permissions, W means write, E means execution. Okay, so R means read, W means write, E means execution. Read, write, execution permissions. Okay, that is fine, but why we have 3 modules here? We have rw dash, rw dash, r dash dash. So we are having for 3. So this is for current user. This is for current user. This is to the users who are in the group. Let's say now in test I am having test 1 group. Okay, in test I am having test 1 group. So 1 for the current user, one for all the users within that group, and one more for other users from other group. Okay, so this one we have to, yeah, sorry, there was some issue with my network. Okay, so here R means read, W means write, E for execution. So the first, first one, earlier we are having, dot slash here, right? Minus pointer, sorry, hyphen. So that hyphen, like, it will tell you kind of directory, what kind of file it is. Is it a file or directory? And next three setup lines, RW, the dash will tell you the permissions for that owner. Next RW dot slash, sorry, RW hyphen will tell you the permissions for the users in the same group, and remaining R dash dash is for complete others. So okay, so that is fine. So now now what we have to understand is there are the permissions restricted for that current user, that owner of that file. At the same time, who are the other users in the same group, and others who are not part of the group. Okay, so this is three kind of permissions we have. Okay, so let's see how to restrict that. So means here RW dash means we said this is the permissions allocated for first, the current user. So means the current user can only read and write. Okay, so the actual format has to be read, write, execute. So this has to be the format. This has to be the format. Okay, so this has to be the format. So but here if you see, R is there, W is there, but instead of X we have dash, means it doesn't have execution permissions. It doesn't have execution permissions. Same with this also, it doesn't have execution permissions. And in third phase, he doesn't have write and execution, but he is having only read permission. He is having only read permission. So we can restrict this. Let's say as a current user, I need execution permission. I need execution. So here ideally what it should be? It should be RW X, means the current user, the owner of the file, has to be having the three rights, like he has to write, he has to read, he has to execute. But whereas in other case, let's say it would be, let's say as it was. Okay, R slash slash. Okay, now how to change this? How to change this? For this you have to use chmod command. Chmod command. Okay, how to use this? Chmod permissions and the file. Okay, chmod is fine because it's standard command. File is fine, but what is this permissions? How to mention these permissions here? So for that we have a typical, a simple thing. As I said, the format is RWX. RWX. So just take it as just RWX. So just take it as 2. Okay, what we can mention to cap 0. 2 cap 0. What's the value of this? 1. Okay, let this is 2 power 1. What's the value of this? 2. Okay, for this what you have to do is 2 power 2. Value of this is 4. Value of this is 4. So if you give 4, it indicates read. It indicates read. If you give 2, it indicates W, means write. If you give 1, it indicates execute. But here what we have? Here we have to give read, write, execute in one shot, because one shot we have to give the in one shot we have to give permissions for our current user. It has to be read, write, execute. So how we have to manage this? How we have to manage this is, let's say if you want only read, you can give 4. If you want write, you can give 2. If you want execute, you can give only 1. But if you want read, write, execute, you have to add these 3. 4 plus 2 plus 1 means 7. Okay, so read, write, execute means you have to give 7. Read, write, execute means you have to 7. Let's say I need only read and write. Read and write. How much it should be? 4 plus 2, 6. 4 plus 2, 6. Let's say I want to use only read and execute. How much it should be? 4 plus 1, 5. Okay. Let's say I want only write and execute. How much it should be? 3. Okay. So this is the thing we have to understand. So if you give 3, it will take only read and execute. So write and execute. If you give 5, it will take only read and execute. If you give 6, it will take read and write. If you give 7, it will take complete RWX means read, write and execute. Okay, so this also you should give as, let's say for current user you want to give read, write, execute. So for that what you have to give? 7. For second user you have to give only read and write. Let's say read and execute. Let's say now it is already read and write. Now just execute. Sorry, for this one just give read and execute. Read and execute. So give 5. So for others also it is only about read. So let us give read and execute. So what is for read and execute? 5. So this permission you should mention here. Okay, so in this the first one is the permissions for the user means current owner. Second one is permissions for the users in the same group. Third one is for others. So it's not like if you want to give read, write, execute, you have to give 4, 2, 1. It's not like that. So within one shot means within for one user, either it may be current user or it may be one of users from group or it may be others. So for them you have to give in this way. Means see, 7 is for current users mean read, write, execute, and 5 is for other users in the group means read and execute. This 5 also for others who are out of the group. So that is also RX. So let's see, just let us try this one. Oh shit, yeah. Okay, let me restart. Okay, EC2 hyphen user, EC2 hyphen user. Okay, sudo su. This dash is nothing but root. Dash is nothing but root. Now just from root itself, let's see what are the permissions for. Okay, so for this, now for a.txt we are having rw slash, not this one, rw slash for, sorry, rw dash for current user, r dash dash for users in the same group. Sorry. Okay, next same r dash dash for others. So now I want to give permissions in such a way. Okay, not this one. Let us move to test. You can give here also. So because here anyway user is root, group is user, so you are in root, you can execute from here. chmod 755, let's say a.txt. Just check. See, the permission size changed. See, now the current user is having read, write, execute, other user is having only read and execute, and other users from out of the group also having same read and execute. Read and execute, and you could see this file color has been changed because earlier it was not having execution permissions, correct? So now what we'll do su test, su test, su test. So now what we will do, we'll try to remove this a.txt slash root text, sorry, test. Oh, isn't it there? It was there, right? No such file at. Okay, see. Okay, no, yeah. No, this is there is no permissions for this. Okay, in such way you can do permission changes. Okay, now let's say I'm into, because see the reason is you have this, but the owner and group is root and root. Okay, so it is from other user, so he cannot overwrite, or he cannot do any modifications for that, for the root files. Now let us switch to test user. Just let's see what we have here, where we are here. Okay, sorry. Then where we have, okay, sorry, we have to move to test home slash test. We have created files here, I forgot, sorry. So here we are having read slash slash. Now just give chmod, let's say give 777 to a, means read write execution, read write execution, read write execution. First 7 is for read write executions for the current user, second 7 is read write execution for the users in the same group, third 7 is read write execution for the users from the other group. Just check it now. See, you could see all the permissions has been given. You could see all the permissions has been given over here. Okay, so this is how you have to modify the files. This is how you have to modify the permissions. Yeah guys, sorry, there was some interruption. Okay, so that's it about permissions. That's it about ownership and permissions. So you should understand the ownership has to be the ownership modification has to be done from root user itself. Okay, this remaining chmod 777 or 755, that permissions you can do, from any group or any user. For that, let's say for this we are having these files, so from this you can do for this stuff, because here the owner is test and group is test1, but for this you will, you have to be root user again, because the ownership is root and root. Let us try to do this 755e. See, it's not taking. Let's try to chmod 755 for b. So it has taken, because you are owner of this group. Okay guys, so remember, you have to see it in a setup way. So for read write execute, one number. Read write execute for user, one number. Read write execute for users in the same group, one number. Read write execution for others, one number. So how to get that number? Like this. Okay, so please let me know if you have any doubts. I hope I've covered everything regarding this ownership stuff. Okay, and some basic things. Let me show you some basic things. Okay, what we have to check in general. So see, if you want to check any mount point sizes and everything, see this df-h is the command. So these are the mount points. Okay, if you want to see how much RAM has been used, see this is RAM utilization, this is swap memory. Okay, if you want to see the load of the server, give tab command. Okay, so that is a thing. Yes, next one basic things. Okay, seems we have covered everything. Okay, so let us see all this stuff in AWS session. There we can see ping, there we can see SCP, SSH, a lot of stuff is there. So as of now, this is enough for you for basic Linux. Hope these 3 sessions helps you. Okay, so if you have any issues, please let me know. Thank you all.